everybody, welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Russ.
And I'm Chris, and that sounds like Dresden was trying to say
That
hi
was
too.
Dresden crying in the background here. I was out running a few errands and stuff, so I didn't get home until a bit ago. And then Stella went to visit her mom and her godmother. So Dresden has been very used to having us around a lot. So,
and so now he's upset.
Mm-hmm. Right, dude? Right? Yeah. So, welcome, guys. It is episode, 263?
Yep, 263. Hey, CD.
And welcome. Hey, CD. Welcome back to the Virtual Nerd Basement, guys. Crazy stuff. Lots of stuff to talk about.
Lots of stuff.
It was, of course, the Super Bowl yesterday, the Superb Owl.
Yes, Superbowl.
Superb Owl.
2 days ago, actually.
2 days ago, that's right.
Congratulations to the LA Rams and especially Matt Stafford for winning the Super Bowl. It was a good game.
It's the first time the Rams have ever won the Super Bowl, if I remember correctly.
Yep. I think so, yeah.
In
LA.
Whatever. In LA. I, as many of you know, I do not sport. So I don't give a shit, but I did notice that, and it was kind of cool. And so Matt Stafford, the big deal for Michiganders is that Stafford was a Lions quarterback, correct?
Yep, for 12 years, and then this is his first year not a Lion, and he wins the Super Bowl.
So,
so all those people who say that he was the problem here, fuck you. He was never the problem. The problem is the ownership. The Fords need to sell the fucking team.
Right. So. But once again, congratulations to the LA Rams.
Yeah, I didn't see the halftime show, CD.
I heard it was interesting.
I heard it was interesting, but I heard it wasn't great. The idea of bringing Eminem out just to sing one line from "Lose Yourself," I think it was. So
and the fact that it was interesting. I saw a lot of anybody under 30 was like, "Who the fuck are these people?" Everybody over 50 were like, "Who the fuck are these people?" And everybody right around my, in their 40s are like, "Yeah!" Because it was, it was all these like rappers and stuff that were like huge when we were kids.
Yeah, it was Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem.
Right.
For me, those were all guys that were big when I was in my 20s.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I was a teenager, so I mean, because and that's cool, but I mean, it just wasn't, it wasn't my style of music. I was never a big fan.
Yeah,
but
me either.
It's still. But because it was still popular, we were still aware of Dre and Snoop and Eminem and and whatever else and stuff. So, and it was funny. Like Stella had a meme. She was like, "Yeah, finally, the Super Bowl is recognizing young people and what they want to." Wait a minute, they're not just catering to old people anymore.
Oh, wait a minute.
Shit. So we are the old people now. But still, pretty cool. Pretty cool that they.
Nothing will beat Prince's halftime show, though. I don't think. I mean,
a lot of people. I heard people were saying that. It's a great show, but it still wasn't better than Prince's halftime.
Well, it's funny because I actually saw a thing that says, "Remember that time when a football game broke out at a Prince concert?"
Yeah, yeah. Well, that guy. I mean, Prince was really.
No wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah.
That wasn't a malfunction. That was a plan.
So yeah, absolutely. So Super Bowl, and of course, with the Super Bowl, we got a crap ton of great commercials. They pulled out all the stops, man.
I would say we got a crap ton of commercials. I don't know that I'd say it was a crap ton of great commercials.
Well, yeah, but there were a number of great commercials, but not all of them were great. There was, I mean, like Jim Carrey being the cable guy.
Oh, I didn't see that
was kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, that was kind of cool. The one with Dr. Evil as the head of GM.
That I thought was funny.
That was pretty fucking cool with Scott Evil and
I shall call him
everybody. I will call him Baby Me. His name is Kyle. I've already named him. And then Rob Lowe is playing number 2 and the lady who played Frau Farbison, and she was.
He keeps going to hit the button. She's, no.
Yeah. It's like, But I don't know. It's just cool seeing Mike Myers work again. You know, ever since the Love Guru he's pretty much just done like cameo shit, you know, in small parts.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, granted, the Love Guru was
actually. I thought the Rocket mortgage commercial was pretty funny too.
With Barbie.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool too. There was, I mean, and there were a bunch of movie trailers and stuff that were also.
Oh yeah, did. The screensaver Bitcoin ad was Renee just said the screensaver Bitcoin was awesome. They were all they were all pulling out their phones going, "Can I get it? Come on, leave it up.
Get it. It's in Reddit." But you know.
Yeah, don't ever scan random codes. That's you're right, yeah. CD.
But I was I actually I downloaded all of them, or not downloaded, but I just pulled up a website that showed me pretty much all of them, and you know, some of them are pretty cool.
But some that we're going to talk about later, or that I've got planned to talk about later.
Right.
Moon Knight trailer.
Moon Knight. Yes.
The Doctor Strange trailer. Holy shit.
Yes. Holy shit.
And then there was another one.
The Jurassic. You know, the new Jurassic Park.
The new Jurassic Park. That looked cool. Mm-hmm. There was some other things too that they did that I was going to talk about. I don't remember what one of them was. I didn't put it down. There was a Sonic the Hedgehog trailer for the new Sonic movie, which I didn't see
honestly I didn't see the first one, but I heard it was really cool, and the new one looks pretty cool too. You know,
and they're already lined up. They've already lined up a third one.
Yeah, and potential Knuckles series apparently too. So we also, I don't know if it was on the HB or excuse me, I don't know if it was.
I know the other one that was on there that I was going to talk about was the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, the Lord of the Rings.
Holy shit, does that look badass?
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking great. So I'm really jazzed about that. I think gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be really exciting. There was also a trailer. I don't know if it was on the Super Bowl, but I also just saw a friend of mine sent me a trailer for the new Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie on Disney Plus coming out later on this year. It's voiced by Andy Samberg and John Mulaney. They're Chip and Dale. It looks like a meta Who Framed Roger Rabbit for 22. Guys, check this out. This trailer looks great. We got Lonely. Let's see. The action comedy takes place some 30 years after the original Chip and Dale animated series and follows the present-day lives of Chip and Dale, who, once big Hollywood stars, are now retired from the biz and haven't spoken in years. Chip, voiced by John Mulaney, works as an insurance salesman, while Dale, voice of Andy Samberg, makes frequent appearances at pop culture conventions. When a former castmate disappears without a trace, Chip and Dale must put aside their grievances and become detectives once again in order to save their friend's life. The film is set in a live-action / animated world similar to that of 88's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The rabbit himself even makes a cameo in the teaser trailer alongside Paula Abdul and an animated cat rapper MC Scat Cat. The movie blends different styles of animation. Chip is depicted in the classic animation style from the original Rescue Rangers, while Dale got a CGI surgery. It looks hilarious, guys. Lonely Island rapper and former Saturday Night Live writer Akiva Schaffer serves as director. The screenplay was written by Crazy Ex-Girlfriends Dan Greger and Doug Mand, Will Arnett, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen, Tim Robinson, J.K. Simmons, Chris Parnell, Dennis Haysbert, Eric Bana, and Kiki Lane also star. It's May 20th on Disney Plus, and it looks freaking hilarious. So you might want to check it out. I know we're kind of skipping stuff. How was your week, man? What were you up to?
I mean, it's been busy. Busy. But other than that, doing the interview thing, and haven't really had a lot of time to play Skyrim, which I want to get back to that. Don't know that I'll be back to it tomorrow because I got another busy day kind of scheduled out tomorrow.
Talking to you and watching you kind of play the game and stuff, it's got me, playing it again too a little bit. I've been because I was playing Outer Worlds and I was enjoying it. It's a cool game and everything, but I was just really fiending for Skyrim. And I'll tell you, man, I was playing a bit last night and it is gorgeous on the PlayStation 5. It really is.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Well, it's pretty on the PC as well. So
yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, other than that, it's mostly that curling. Although I was off on Thursday for curling, so that and Sunday was Super Bowl, so I actually haven't curled in a week. But otherwise, I mean, it's just been the same old same old. Started the new cornhole season started up for me for this one. But yeah, just same old same old. Nothing special this week.
Nothing crazy, huh?
Nope.
All right.
We got our game this Friday though, so I gotta start prepping for that too, because it's only in 3 days, and I gotta make sure I'm prepped.
Yep, we are gaming on Friday. Looking forward to it. Well, I've been back to work, and it's been interesting. I also we did some promotional shots for the murder mystery dinner show that I'm in, and I shaved my sideburns for the first time in 25 years, so that's a little odd. But it was funny, like my friend Kevin Starnes actually took the pictures for this for the show that we're in, and he sent me the shots, and I got my hair slicked down, and I'm kind of, just the pictures are kind of funny, and Stella, like I showed Stella, and Stella didn't recognize me. Like, she's like, "Who is that?" I go, "Who do you think?" And she's like, "Oh, I thought it was a movie star." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." She's like, "You got to send me those pictures." No. Yeah. Get them off of the fucking Facebook. Yeah. So, but that was funny. I'm back to work. It is freezing cold at the studio. They bought us like thermal dickies. Like I got a coverall, like these coverall dickies, and it's definitely taking the edge off. It's helping, but my hands are so cold, my face is cold. And thankfully, the next 2 days is supposed to be in the mid to upper 40s, and then we're supposed to get
no, it's supposed to be like 45 or 55 tomorrow, or 54, something like that.
I saw 49, but they're saying, like I said, I heard upper 40s for the next 2 days, and then potentially like Thursday night, Friday, we could get another 8 inches of snow.
So, yeah, I'm seeing next 48 hours, 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, I heard somewhere between 4 and 8 inches of snow are possible in the Detroit area.
Yeah, and then there's a flood watch too right now out here by me.
Jesus Christ,
because I'm by the river. Let's see, I'm looking here. So this is saying 48 on Wednesday, and then what was supposed to rain tomorrow, but now there's not as big a chance of rain. Yeah. It's just be cloudy and windy, and then 45 on Thursday. So the high of 45, the low of 10. So it's just going to be plummeting all day long.
Yeah, I'm like,
and rain, snow. 3 to 5 inches of snow during the day on Thursday, and 1 to 3 inches at night.
In the evening. Yeah, so great, awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be fucking fantastic.
Oh, then it's going to be 44 again on Sunday.
Yeah, my sinuses are going to are just going to ready to kill myself.
Yeah, so it's awesome. It's 45, 21, 25, 44, 43, 44, 37, 31, 30, 31, 31, 32, 31. That's the forecast for the next 2 weeks. So we're going to be right around freezing. And we're going to have a mix of rain and snow in there on days.
Yep. So, but I know everybody loves it when we talk about the weather. So, yes. Anyway, I'm back at the studio. We're going to be, probably by the end of the month or early March, we're going to be working on stuff for the Indy 500. We've got potentially 10 new floats to make this year, somewhere between 8 and 10, probably 10. We're going to get started really soon. So I'm going to be really, really fucking busy this year, like really fucking busy. So yeah, it's going to be great. But yeah, it's been freezing cold. I mean, like when you're in a inside studio and you can literally see your breath all day inside. I'm like, I didn't sign up to work in a fucking walk-in. It's crazy. I've been in walk-in freezers that are warmer than this. So, but anyway, it's nice to get back into the swing of things and whatnot. So, Of course, it was also Valentine's Day yesterday. I found out that Stella ordered me the Vaxeldan hoodie, like from the Critical Role shop. So that's pretty cool. It's it's more like almost like it's a hoodie. It's like an oversized hoodie, and it looks pretty fucking awesome. And but she ordered it from. They didn't have any larges left, and I didn't know what the sizing were. I mean, I'm kind of between a medium and a large. Like I'm tall, but I'm not big around. So, or I'm on the shorter side of tall. I'm 6 foot. So, I have long arms and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm somewhere between a medium and a large. So I can't get a large because you don't know what the size is going to be like. And she's like, okay, cool. She goes, well, the only larges they had were in the UK store. So she paid like double for the shipping cost. Yeah. I was like, what the Stella, I would have taken a medium from Canada if that was the case. You didn't have to, Jesus. But that's nice of her, I guess. So I also picked up this last week. I forgot to show you.
Oh.
Yeah. So cool. I have the one. I have Jester and Caleb now. So that's cool. They've got Not the Brave, Yasha, and Ford coming in the next few months. So that's pretty cool. I haven't read it yet.
I don't have either of those yet.
The artwork is really nice. So it looks great. And it's retailed at $18. I think I got it for a little bit cheaper. I can't remember at the comic shop, but for a hardcover graphic novel, it's a little on the pricey side, but still pretty fucking cool. So.
And yeah, CD said they really must be making decent money off Critical Role by now. Yeah, they're they're making a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Well, the Tal'Dorei Reborn should be available in most of the local game shops by the end of the week. If I remember, when I talked to the people at Pandemonium, they were saying that it should be available by the 20th, because they were holding off. They wanted to do a lot of like online and local sales first for Darrington Press. But then, so you should be able to get that book at your local game shop soon.
Yeah.
And so I'm like excited. I got to pick me up one of those bad boys. It'll be an expensive month.
Yeah. Not many of them have quit their day jobs. Because they just love doing it.
Right. And then on top of it too, like we've also apparently the animated series, which we're going to be talking about in a few minutes, has gotten a 100% critics for the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and like 93% for the fans. It is doing extremely well. It's Amazon already paid for a second season. If this show doesn't get a third season and a fourth season, I'm shocked. Shocked. But they are making ridiculous amounts of money now on this, and they're all. I mean, the nice thing about it is all the people involved with Critical Role, all the original like creators and everything, they're still involved and they are profiting from it, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that the original creators, Matt Mercer and the rest of the gang, are the ones that are profiting from their creation, and it's great.
Well, they had like 1.2 million viewers the first night, I think it was. That Friday when they released it to the public, it was like 1.2 million views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was incredible. So, and they're saying that this is, this is a huge jump forward for adult themed animation for shows that are, animated series, animated shows that are specifically, targeted towards adult audiences, and it's great.
Gee, so anyways, I wasn't recording.
What?
I wasn't recording.
You weren't recording?
Yeah. I thought I had hit the record button, but I guess I didn't. I just noticed it. Like, why isn't the timer clicking up? Oh, because
Well, it looks like the first 20 minutes.
Well, I can fix that. That's easy to fix. I just recorded off of Twitch.
I see. All right.
I've done it before. I've had to record entire episodes off of Twitch and then edit them.
Okay. So what are you drinking?
I am drinking a beer that I got a couple weeks ago. You may remember that a couple weeks ago I had a Cold Hearted, which was a special version of Two Hearted. From Bell's. This is another one from that pack. So that pack had 4 beers in it. It had Cold Hearted, which I did. Two Hearted, which I did at the very first show we ever did, and Light Hearted, which I believe I've done. Which is like a light version. This one is, I think I might have done this one before when they brought it out originally, but it's called Black Hearted, and the glare from the light comes in, but there we go. I just tilt it down a little. It's this is a black IPA. It is 7% ABV. This black IPA holds no ire towards love lost. It thrives on it. Remember your ex, take a few sips, and then go back to enjoying your day. There's someone else's problem now anyway. And it does pour very dark. It is a black IPA. It has a tan, kind of a darkish tan head. It does have some hop aroma, but it is mixed in with like more of the roasted notes. And I'm gonna go ahead and take another sip. It's actually a really well balanced beer. It has a lot of the hop flavor, but it really is balanced with the roasted notes. I really like this one a lot. I'd give this, ripped it myself. I'd give this probably 4.5 bottle caps. This is absolutely fantastic. It is so good. And if you have the chance to try it, I definitely highly, highly recommend it. I wish they would actually come out with this as a regular beer, or at least a specialty that they come out with once a year, where they put it out in 4 or 6 packs, because I would buy the hell out of it when it comes out. So, but yeah, Black Hearted by Bell's. The only way I've seen it is in there's a, I forget what they call it. It's the Something Hearted collection.
Okay.
So what about you?
You know what? Tonight, just drinking the Pepsi. I had a PBR earlier. On my way home, I stopped for a beer and just was like, PBR. Right now.
Are you okay to drive after that? You all right?
I can drink 1 beer and drive the 1.5 miles that it was from my bar from my house. I just wasn't feeling anything, and last time I was at the store, I didn't really see any ciders or anything that jumped out at me. You know? So I have to check again at the bottle shop, see what's going on. So, but tonight, just ye old Pepsi brew from in the blue glass.
The dark brew.
Sweet, a little tingly. I like the bubbles on my tongue. So yeah.
All right. So what do we want to start with?
All right. Well, let me go through a couple of things real quick. For comic book fans, for those of you guys might remember the comic book, Marvel's bringing back the Thunderbolts. Now, the Thunderbolts was 25 years ago. They did this great storyline where basically a bunch of the superheroes sacrificed themselves to stop a particular villain. I think it was Onslaught or something, and a bunch of the non-mutant superheroes had to basically, sacrifice themselves. Now they got shunted into another reality, but they were outside of the main Marvel universe for a while, and a bunch of super villains decided to take advantage of this. They changed their identities, changed the way they looked, put on new costumes, and formed a superhero team called the Thunderbolts. And it was the coolest thing because nobody knew that they were doing this. They kept it a pretty good secret, and you didn't find out about the twist until the end of the first issue. It was Baron Zemo, one of the classic Captain America villain. And he had basically taken a bunch of super villains and, like I said, dressed them up as heroes. And the idea was...
Zemo?
Yeah, I forgot about Dancing Zemo. And he basically, the idea was to lull the humans into trusting, or lull the public into trusting these new superheroes, and then they would take over. Because Baron Zemo was one of those, I'm going to rule the world kind of, super villains. So it was Baron Zemo and his various cohorts. Screaming Mimi became Songbird. The Moonstone became Meteorite. The Fixer became Techno. There was Atlas, and there was a bunch, and the Beetle became Mach 1, and then eventually like Mach 2 and Mach 3 as he updated his armor and whatnot. It was a very successful comic book. It was a really cool concept, and was actually, it ran for quite a while. It ran well over 100 issues, and it's had a few various other iterations and kind of revamps and stuff. Well, they're bringing it back, and even to the point, actually at one point even Hawkeye led the team after it was revealed who they were. And then several of them decided they still wanted to be like redeemed super villains and be heroes. Hawkeye led the team for a while. Now Hawkeye is going to be leading a new version of the team coming up. It says Marvel's Thunderbolts are ditching the villainous undercurrents the team has had these past 25 years and going legit with a new team of bona fide superheroes led by Hawkeye. The 2016 Thunderbolts creative team of writer Jim Zub and artist Sean Izaki are reuniting here in 22 with an all-new team created in the wake of the Kingpin's win in the upcoming finale of Devil's Reign. The 22 era Thunderbolts will be Hawkeye, Spectrum, who's Monica Rambeau, who was at one time Captain Marvel, America Chavez, who will be appearing in the new Doctor Strange film, Power Man, who is named Victor Alvarez. He's the new character to take on the name Power Man since Luke Cage really doesn't use it anymore. It's an interesting character too. He apparently draws power from cultural significance. So like he becomes more powerful the more he knows about like a chi energy that he absorbs from his environment. So if he knows something about a lot about the environment that he's in, the town that he's in, the cities he's in, he's more powerful. It's a pretty cool concept, actually.
Interesting.
Persuasion, the former Purple Girl, Kara Kilgrave, is the daughter of the Purple Man, and two apparently new characters. One we don't know, is on the main cover, and another character called Guts and Glory is an experienced cyber soldier seeking new glory. So this could be pretty cool, pretty interesting. I'm going to probably buy into it. I always liked the Thunderbolts, so this should be pretty cool.
And there's lots of talk that Disney Marvel is going to be doing Thunderbolts. That's what they're setting up with the whole thing with Val. And
correct. Yeah, either the Dark Avengers or the Thunderbolts. Now, I would think the Thunderbolts would be a much better title and name, so I'm down. It's going to be a miniseries. It's only a 5-issue miniseries, but if it establishes a cool kind of thing, it could, they could roll it into a new series. That's the way it seems like a lot of the comic books are going these days. It's like Marvel doesn't want to take a chance on some of these things without testing them out a little bit first on a miniseries. So looks like it could be pretty cool. So I will I'll be checking it out, and I'll let you guys know. So there was that. We've got some interesting things coming up in Marvel Comics. The Judgment Days miniseries, the Celestials coming back. It should be interesting kind of stuff that they're doing. There's also some really wild shit that they're doing, and I talked about it last show with the whole Death of the Justice League, and then the new Dark Crisis kind of summer storyline that they're going to be introducing. So once again, I will be keeping an eye on that later on. I did see a quick thing, a Blade Runner TV show, Blade Runner 2099, live action TV series is coming to Amazon with Ridley Scott producing. So that's awesome. If the original creator, the original director is involved, it could be pretty badass. Amazon has been turning out some pretty awesome stuff. So here's hoping that is going to be pretty, that's going to, you know, move forward and really cool. It is set 50 years after the Blade Runner 2049 sequel that we saw recently, and 80 years after the Harrison Ford starring original. So hey, could be pretty badass. I mean, Blade Runner is pretty awesome. I also saw apparently Horizon Forbidden West is getting off the charts amazing reviews. Nothing short of phenomenal is what they're saying. It is it's a world of beautiful distractions. It doesn't matter that the world is being killed and Aloy is the only one that could save it because the salt bite cook needs some eggs. Someone else's father has gone missing, and there's a rowdy thunderjaw threatening a small village. The Forbidden West may have been forbidden just because it needs you so much, and I'm totally here for it. It builds on what was offered by Zero Dawn, an open world filled with quests to catch your attention, a strong story of post-apocalyptic life, robot dinosaurs, and technological mysteries. There's almost a concern that the sequel may feel too familiar, just teleported to a new map, but the opening hours alone were enough to alleviate these fears. Although the same framework is there and the core gameplay mechanics remain untouched, this truly is an evolution, a new beast fitted over the mechanical bones of the old ones. Regardless of whether the next quest you find is a smaller errand or core story mission, there's a depth and breadth to each one that's consistently surprising. What you'd expect to be a simple fetch quest is always much more than that, and someone you initially think is an incidental character becomes a recurring favorite you're desperate to see pop up again elsewhere. So it's getting amazing reviews. The creatures are much more than just based on animals. Now they're basing a lot of them on dinosaurs. So that's going to be a new twist, new weapons, new armor styles. It looks absolutely fantastic. I am really excited to play this game. It looks like, now did it come out?
It comes out Friday.
Comes out Friday. Okay. It is available at Amazon for $59, at Walmart for $59, and at Best Buy for $59.99 as well. So so $60 for the brand new game, which is the going rate for the current generation.
And unfortunately, I did not get my next gen console before it came out.
You'll get it eventually. You know, you've got other games to play. Don't worry about it.
Dude, no. This is the game I've been waiting for. This is Horizon Zero Dawn is one of my favorite games of all time.
It was mine too. It was absolutely fantastic, and I am looking forward to this one as well. So it is a PlayStation exclusive, I believe, unless it's available on Steam. I think it might be available.
It might be a PC as well.
I know it's not on the Xbox.
No, it is not.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's see. Is there anything?
Well, Zero Dawn Complete Edition is available on Steam, but it looks like the new one.
They said they were going to release this for PlayStation 4, but here we go. 4. You can get it. Okay, so you can get it for $60. I'm like, I'm only seeing the PlayStation 5 versions, except for the collector's edition, which is $200.
But you're saying it is available on the 4?
Yeah, it's just you have to click a button. It defaults to the 5, and you have to click a button to get it.
Well, you could get it. You could get it for your 4 if you really, don't want to wait.
Which I might, just because.
Yeah, there you go. So check that out this Friday, Horizon Forbidden West. I also saw that that Lego is releasing their first Horizon Forbidden West Lego set, where it's Aloy and a tall neck.
Yes, so I saw that. I saw the tall neck. I just showed that to Renee tonight.
Yeah, that looks super cute. It looks like 1,222 pieces. So not an immense set, but a good size set. They're probably pretty pricey. There's no such thing as $80. There's no such thing as a cheap Lego set these days.
Not if you get the actual Lego. If you get the Chinese knockoffs, they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I have a buddy that does it. He actually has the.
They all fit too.
Yeah, well,
they just don't have. They just don't have the word Lego on.
Right. They're the exact same blocks. They just don't say Lego on them.
Yep.
Like he's got I think it's the Super Star Destroyer.
Oh man.
Well, he's got the Millennium Falcon. It's in a huge box because that Millennium Falcon is gargantuan.
Oh yeah, it's like the Masters kind of one. It's immense. Yeah.
He does it with his daughters though. He builds all that stuff with his daughters. They love it.
That's really awesome. That's really cool. So also big news in video games today as well. We have made it pretty clear that particularly like we are fans of the Cyberpunk 2077 game. It launched their new gen version today, a hefty patch of 1.5. It is now not only is it the next gen system, it completely revamps a lot of the aspects of the game. Now I've got the patch notes here. So next gen exclusive, added ray traced local light shadows, implemented native and achievement support on next gen consoles, introduced 2 graphics modes on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, performance mode, ray tracing mode, the Xbox added activity cards for PS5, implemented supported for spatial audio on PS5 for 3D audio enabled headphones and built-in TV speakers via PS5's Tempest 3D audio tech solution, implemented the use of adaptive triggers on the PS5 controllers. Additional content, more apartments. Apartments can be rented with a one-time fee when encountered in Night City or through the Easy Estates website when accessed through the computer in V's Mega Building H10 apartment. They become available after completing the Playing for Time quest. It's possible to rent all apartments at the same time. All apartments share the same stash. But the cool thing that I've heard is all of the apartments are different. It's not a cookie cutter kind of thing. They're all very different. Additionally, you can now customize V's starting apartment in Mega Building H10 using the Easy Estates website for 10,000 Eurobucks. There's also appearance customization now. You can tweak certain features of your appearance, such as hair, makeup, piercing, etc., when using the mirror in any of your apartments and safe houses. It's free and you can do it as often as you like. Character customization also includes more makeup and hair color options. Who's the fairest of them all now? There's also a couple of new weapons, and weapon scopes and attachments. There's new poses in the photo mode. I'm not going to go through all this stuff, but I'm just going to run through some real quick stuff. Multiple fixes, improvements to NPC melee and range combat AI and reactions, including taking cover, positioning and reloading, equipping weapons, that kind of thing. Multiple improvements to dismemberment triggers. Enemies are now much better at blocking and evading attacks. Further diversification of melee and range combat behaviors. Followers now contribute more in combat, but can be defeated and temporarily disabled if they receive enough punishment. Numerous fixes and balances changes to netrunner combat. Crowd improvements. Aggressive crowd behavior. Time skips affect the state of NPCs. Improved crowd reactions. The drive model, introducing our all-new burnout mode. Hold gas plus brake to engage, steer to rotate. The old system only allowed rotating on the spot. Now try modulating the inputs to see what you can do. So you can do donuts and brake stands and, all kinds of crazy stuff. New braking system produces consistent performances, front to rear across all speeds. Engine simulation improved. Clutch simulation added. Gearbox simulation improved. Motorcycles improved. Tune improvements to various cars, blah, blah, blah. Added adjustments to first-person perspective to all vehicles that needed it. Vehicle traffic.
Well, it's a lot of updates.
Tons of stuff, man. I
don't think we need to read the whole patch list.
No, I'm just trying to go over some stuff.
The one thing I saw was that they're adding more to the romance options as well.
Yes, there's new romance options.
Well, they're not new romance options. They're going to add more
interaction.
You're going to get text messages from those that you're romancing rather than feeling like they forgot about you. And River and you can contact them too. Yeah, River and Judy will occasionally wake up next to you if you are sleeping in your apartment.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't hear that.
But only those two. Because let's face it, Pan Am's out in the frickin'
desert. But yeah, items and devices, NPCs, just tons of stuff. They've changed the pricings on some things, so cars are a little cheaper, a little easier to get. They've also completely revamped the perk system, and the map is easier to read now too. It's completely shifted. Now there isn't a crap ton of new content. Like they didn't add that we didn't get a big new like content new missions and new adventures and stuff like that. But they've changed and improved so many things that some people are saying that it feels like a whole new game again. So they've also said added a few secrets in Night City to be discovered by players. Due to some technical challenges, this change is not available on the previous generation of consoles. So only on the new consoles and the computers are these things that they've hidden that they're like, hey, maybe you can find this shit. Yeah, it says extended romances with Pan Am, Carrie River, and Judy by adding new messages and interactions. Improved holocall system to prevent multiple holocalls from stacking. They did adjust some of the missions and fixed bugs that were happening. So I am really, really, really excited to dive back into this game. I was kind of hoping I'd wait until the first expansion came out, but I think I'll try another playthrough, maybe in a little bit. So anyway, that big news, big changes. I just finished downloading the update. So.
Yeah, I haven't started downloading that yet. Renee did. You probably saw it in the background there at the beginning of the show. She was playing it. She had to pause to so we could do the show.
Right.
But the other big gaming news is the Old Republic, Star Wars: The Old Republic's Legacy of the Sith finally released today.
Yep.
So I downloaded that and was playing around with it a little bit. I haven't really gotten into it. I haven't had time. I will be playing it more to learn more about how that's set up. But yeah, it's a whole new thing where you can be a dark side Jedi and all this. So, or a light side Sith, or you can be a trooper with a sniper rifle now, and or a like an agent with a rifle or something. I don't know. You can play different styles, all sorts of different styles. So that'll be cool. I will be getting into that more. I also have been seeing tons of stuff on Lost Ark and just how popular that is right now, and how they're actually having to already add a new region in Europe because their queues are like 8,000 to 13,000 people at times.
Wow.
And people are waiting well over an hour to be able to play this game.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's so popular. And also I saw that I think it's tomorrow or Thursday, I think it is. The new Warhammer Total War game comes out. Warhammer Total War 3 comes out.
Cool.
The Realms of Chaos. Looks pretty badass. I haven't played any of those, but I've heard really good things about them in the past. So lots of stuff going on right now with games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So speaking, you just were talking about Knights at the Old Republic. While we get into Book of Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett.
Well, we got lots of other stuff to talk about still too.
All right. Well, what else did you want to talk about before we get into Boba?
Well, the Superbowl ads. So,
right.
At least as far as like the ads that we saw for things like Moon Knight, that looks badass.
We're just we're just seeing more and more really awesome stuff. Moon Knight looked really fucking cool.
It looks like it's really gonna be set in London, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, which is weird because he's always been like more of an American. He's definitely an American hero. So it's gonna.
I always thought he was in like New York. Was where he was another one of those New York heroes.
He was in New York, and then for a while he was on the West Coast too.
But yeah, so it looks like it's going to be in London, but it does look badass. It looks so cool. I'm looking forward to it. That starts at the end of next month, so we got about 6 weeks before that comes out. But I think that's the next big Disney Plus series.
It's the next, and then I think after that we get into Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan is in May. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's like they're not. It's like you can have either Star Wars or Marvel, but never the two at the same time.
Yes. Well, they don't want to overlap any of their series. They want to
Right.
put them out one at a time so they can space it. And then as
Right.
far as that go, after that, I think the next series isn't until like She-Hulk in the fall.
I think you might be correct. Yes.
I haven't heard about anything in the summer. So summer's going to be the movie season. We've got Doctor Strange, Thor, all those coming up in the next few months. So,
right. Yeah.
But speaking of which, Doctor Strange's commercial, I didn't get to hear it. So I saw parts of it, but because of the way that the family Superbowl thing is like there's kids running around and yelling, and you don't always get to hear everything. So I watched it earlier today, and I got to tell you, it may be a good thing that I didn't hear it at the family event, because
you would have dropped a lot of F-bombs?
Yeah, I probably would have dropped a lot of F-bombs, because holy fuck. Go ahead. Yeah, they go through, and it wasn't anything that I saw. It was something that I heard.
Right, and exactly.
As soon as I heard his voice, I was like, holy fuck.
Now, we heard of what we understood Sand to be the voice of Patrick Stewart. Now, for those of you who have been living under a box or under a rock or in a cave or wherever,
for the last
would
30
remember
years.
that for the next 30 years, Patrick Stewart, of course, was Professor Xavier in the original X-Men movies. He was older Xavier.
Yeah. And even in Up to Logan.
Yeah, even all the way up to Logan. And many people consider, one of his best characters or one of his best roles next to Captain Picard. I am super excited for this. I mean, because they have talked about that this may be one of the ways that we will start to see the mutants get introduced to the to the MCU.
Yeah. So what you're seeing at the time is you're seeing all this stuff about Strange, and you're seeing Wong talking to him and Mordo talking to him, and Mordo basically arresting him. It looks like, and then him being walked through this hall by what looked like Ultron robots.
Right.
And he's being brought before what looks like a council, and you hear Patrick Stewart's voice say, "We should tell him the truth.
We should tell him the truth." Yeah, and
that's all you hear.
That's all we hear. So, I mean, it's highly unlikely that they got Patrick Stewart for some other character, considering particularly this is called the Multiverse of Madness. So we're going to be seeing characters from the multiverse. They're saying already that every Marvel movie is part of the Marvel multiverse. So even the movies that are not part of the MCU, like Daredevil, like Blade, like the X-Men movies, like the Fantastic Four movies, are all part of the Marvel. Can we please leave the
last Fantastic Four out of it?
I don't know what you're talking about. There's only been 2 Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's right.
2. Anyway, so
like Highlander, there can only be one.
So anyway, all these movies are part of the multiverse, and so we're potentially going to see the Patrick Stewart, Professor X. Now, I am excited to see mutants finally in the MCU now that they finally can have Wolverine and Cyclops and Colossus and Deadpool.
I have a feeling that they're going to establish that they may bring them in this, but what they're going to wind up doing is saying that they are in a different multiverse. So when they do the X-Men or any of those, they're not going to be in the same multiverse or in the same universe as the current MCU movies.
See, I think they will bring them into the current MCU movies, but it's going to be like some sort of dimensional shift or some sort of like some sort of thing or whatever, and it'll be like the mutants were always there. We just never saw them yet. We just haven't seen them yet. But all in all, we're gonna see various different versions of Doctor Strange. We're going to see like probably the evil version that we saw in.
Oh, we definitely saw the evil version in there. He makes a comment. So it looks like we saw zombie Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, exactly. We've also going to see like like the Defender Doctor Strange, who's it looks like it's going to be pretty amazing. We could see the Illuminati, which is Professor Xavier and Mr. Fantastic and Namor and the Black Panther. Like they were the Marvel Illuminati. That's what they're. Tony Stark was part of it. We could potentially see like a multiversal Illuminati representing those characters.
Which that could be the council he's brought before.
Yeah, exactly. Now my hope is they introduce the character and then of Professor X through Patrick Stewart, and then the next time we see Professor X, we see a different actor, because Patrick Stewart is 80, 81. He's getting pretty long in the tooth.
I think that's what it's going to be. He's going to be a different universe, Professor X, and there's going to be one that gets introduced into the MCU.
Right.
In that world.
I don't have a particular problem with James McAvoy. I think he did a decent job playing the younger version of Patrick Stewart.
I just think
didn't like those.
Well, I don't like those movies at all, but I think that they should completely move away from every actor that was in any of those other movies and start over. If they're going to do it in the MCU, they need to completely distance the other movies and not use any actors from them.
Even Hugh Jackman?
Even Hugh Jackman.
I agree.
And even, in all honesty, even Patrick Stewart, I think they should just completely move on. Patrick Stewart was always my choice for Xavier when we were talking about it back in the 80s. And
it was always everybody's choice.
Yeah. Well, we did
and he was perfect.
I mean, that's the thing. You asked me earlier, well, who would you get to play him? I'm like, I don't know, honestly. I'm like, I don't know who I would get to play him.
Yeah. There's somebody that can rock a bald head.
Yeah.
And that can, I don't want somebody that's a British actor, honestly. Like
maybe was American.
Exactly. Professor Xavier is not a British character. He's not English. He's American. And the fact that he was depicted by as a British person several times, I just think it's I mean, yeah. Does he wasn't British in the cartoon. Does he carry himself? Does it seem like he would be British? Maybe, but he's not. Charles Xavier was born as an American character. Like I said, I didn't hate James McAvoy. I thought he was all right. As the younger version, and actually Michael Fassbender played a pretty cool younger Magneto as well. But yeah, if they were to start from scratch, or they were to bring these characters into the MCU, I think it is time for maybe a recasting. Hugh Jackman was perfect, but there's other actors out there that could do it as well.
Well, I think Hugh Jackman did a great job. I don't think he was perfect. He didn't have the look of Wolverine. He was way too tall.
Yes, he was, because Wolverine is supposed to be a short man. He's only supposed to be about 5'3". But a lot of people they felt like he grew into the role. He became the role. The role became his. And honestly,
he did personify him well. Yeah.
Logan was, honest to God, one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. It was absolutely fantastic. But anyways, I've got a couple of things here that I just found, some stuff.
Oh, hey, Sneak Hoot. But yeah, real quick though, seeing Scarlet Witch in there was cool too. And as you had mentioned earlier, they are bringing in America Chavez.
Right. Scarlet Witch, it looks like she may be either a villain or becomes a villain or becomes a problem or something, some kind of villainous kind of.
Well, she's going to be part of it because she's trying to find her kids.
And
they even show things in there where she winds up back in that house in Westview.
Yeah, she's obviously still dealing with, on some level, she's dealing with the trauma that she experienced in WandaVision.
Yeah. But they show her and Steven walking and talking and him asking, what do you know about the multiverse? And she's like, well, Viz thought it was dangerous. And Strange is like, well, he was right.
So exactly. So we also have America Chavez. They're introducing her. In the comics, America Chavez is a superhero that came from a pocket universe populated by superhero women. Her punches can open star-shaped portals, which she uses to cross to different universes. She's also has like super strength and invulnerability. She can fly. It's in a movie that is about the multiverse crossing shenanigans. America Chavez's power may be important to a lot of characters involved, mainly the villain Wanda. In a blink and you'll miss it moment in the TV spot, America Chavez will end up in an advanced laboratory in a glass cage as if she's being experimented on. So she's going to be a standout character. Let's see. This is like very much kind of analyzing the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know that we need to go into that. But,
no, I'm looking at so there'll be other variants of Doctor Strange. We know that. There will be superhero cameos from different universes. We know that. We've heard they've already mentioned that that's the things that we're going to be probably seeing. I think my PlayStation turned itself off and now the TV's on. The tentacled monster. There's also the tentacled monster that we've seen. It's called Shuma Gorath in Marvel Comics, but apparently they've had to change the name because they don't own the fully rights the name Shuma Gorath, I guess. The Darkhold's influence can make a sorcerer powerful but zombie-like. We don't know. I mean, that's a guess, I think, as well. An animated universe will at least cameo a Bruce Campbell. A Bruce Campbell cameo.
Well, it's a Sam Raimi movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So he's got to be in it.
He's got to be in there somewhere. And Sam Raimi's car also makes a cameo.
Of course, that has to also be in there.
The 73 Oldsmobile Delta 88.
Yep.
In the name of tradition, if we're truly that lucky, Sam Raimi will get to show off his ride once more. So we'll see. I'm extremely excited. I think this is. I think the Multiverse of Madness is going to be an amazing movie.
I am too. And Raimi's visuals are. He's one of the only directors that I can tell his style when I'm watching a movie, and his visuals are some of the coolest I've seen. His eye for how to do things and even special effects and things like that, I think are just absolutely some of the best I've ever seen.
I agree. He does definitely have a style that is very recognizable and stuff. So I'm really excited. So yeah.
So
be fucking cool.
Real quick, one of the other things I wanted to mention that I saw today, there's so much stuff. We've seen a preview now for the Lord of the Rings Rings of Power. That looks amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. But also, AMC has the rights for Interview with the Vampire, and they're making a series.
Okay.
They're doing a.
Where'd you hear about this?
I saw it on a couple different places, but then I found it on Nerdist as well. They actually bought the rights for the Vampire Chronicles and the Lives of the Mayfair Witches.
Oh, okay.
I think they said it's like 48 novels or something like that overall. Or some 18 novels, something like that. Anyway, they're doing an Interview with the Vampire series. They're going to do other series. They're also talking about doing movies. They're going to be basically doing the entire 2-series collection. They're going to have a shared universe and have stories going on at the same time.
Wow, cool. That's cool. I'd be in. I mean, I think I did remember hearing something about a Interview with the Vampire series. I just couldn't remember where I had heard it.
He said only if they do what we do in the shadows.
Got to cross over with what we do in the shadows. Absolutely. That'd be amazeballs.
Well, they'll wind up showing up as part of the new Vampire Council.
Be awesome.
But yeah, so all right, what do you want to start with? Do you want to go to Boba Fett first, or do you want to go to Vox Machina first?
Let's go to Boba Fett first.
Okay.
Because it's one episode of Boba Fett to talk about beyond 3 episodes.
But it's the last episode of Boba Fett.
It is. And we were talking about it a little bit before the show started, and I have to say it was entertaining but not not. It was entertaining, but it wasn't. It could have been better.
It was definitely the most action-packed show that we've had.
Yes, quite.
But and I agree with you. It was good. It wasn't great.
Right.
There were some things that I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just so cheesy. Or what the fuck? So the whole thing is, this is the big setup to where it's the showdown between Boba Fett and the Pikes, and the Pike Syndicate, and
right.
It's all that. And you've got Boba Fett sends his people off. He basically holes up in the remains of the sanctuary, I think is what it was called.
The casino.
The casino. And he sends his people off to various sections of town, and they're like, well, we'll be able to see the Pikes coming, and with your deal with the other crime families, that they'll stay out of the way, and it'll give us the drop on them. And you knew that wasn't going to stay.
Right.
But when they started talking about, we've got, the Grimorians here, and we've got, and then they went, and Black Chrysanthemum is in the Transdoshan district. I went, what?
Right. That was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
You just want to start trouble?
Yeah.
I'm like, the dude can't help himself from killing Transdoshans. We saw that earlier.
Yeah, and then they're kind of spread them out, and that was the thing, like in an early episode, Boba tried to take the other crime lords and tried to say, like, just stay neutral, stay out of it, and you'll be fine. And, just let me handle this, and we'll be fine.
Yep.
You knew that wasn't gonna fucking fly, man.
No.
You knew it.
There was no way.
You knew that they were just gonna go, fuck this guy, and they told him that they would stay neutral, and they're like, you knew they're fucking criminals, a bunch of fucking criminals. They're not honor bound, they're not honorable guys. They took advantage of the situation. They teamed up, and they, of course, set up a bunch of ambushes for Boba's team and Boba's people. Black Chrysanthemum got fucking bum rushed by a bunch of Trandoshans.
Yep, and then he killed a whole bunch of them.
And then he killed them all. He got piled on, man. And I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna. He ain't getting taken down by a bunch of Trandoshans.
They can't kill him. I liked him. I want to see more of him.
Nope,
they didn't kill him.
No way.
Got a broken ankle. Got a bunch of stab wounds. Took a bunch of shots. That was the other thing. He kept getting shot.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It's one thing when Mando and Boba were getting shot. They're wearing their fucking Beskar.
Right.
It's a whole nother thing with Black Chrysanthemum, who's got a fucking bandolier, and that's it.
Yeah, I get that Wookiees are tough. Yeah. They're the kind of alien that scares the crap out of other aliens. They're the kind they're the race that's just like, my God, they are. It's no wonder the Empire tried to keep them down, because if they really, if they mobilized, my God, they would just run through troops like crazy. I don't think Black Chrysanthemum should have been able to shrug off 24 blasts from
from
blasters.
Another 24 stab wounds from
all
the weapons.
From all the other weapons and shit. And I loved it how, like, Boba, kind of saves him and pulls him behind. And he's like, oh, when this is over, I'm gonna owe you some time in the back to tank.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, he's gonna need a week in the back to tank.
Well, and then his ankle just mysteriously heals at one point, and he's just fine walking around.
Yeah, I loved at the end of it. Just they hand him like a mango. Here, buddy, said you. Can I have a bite? Okay, shit.
But we see Grogu come back,
right?
And that scene I thought was kind of funny.
It was funny because oh, Grogu, that's a terrible name.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not calling you
that. Yeah, sorry, buddy. I love her. She's so funny. I love how she was like flirting with the mayor assistant. Like, hey, hi, cutie pie, or whatever she called him. It was really funny. I also liked it how Boba basically, the guy's like, I haven't trained in negotiations, and he sends him out. All right, I'll give you my demands, and he sends him out with a letter basically telling him all the fuck right off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like you got to expect that, that wasn't gonna fly.
Well, but anyway, you see him. He doesn't read it before he goes out. He just takes it out, and he's like, yes,
very well.
Very well. Our demands are
okay. When we're just gonna, all right, and
I think there's a mistake. Just read it. Yeah.
Really funny, but yeah, I mean, I was kind of skeptical. I mean, I know that Luke trusts R2, but to trust R2 to fly the X-wing with Grogu in it all the way back to Tatooine from wherever the fuck he is, and then all right, just R2, just bring it back, make sure the tank's full.
Are there any knobs on anything inside there? Because if so, Luke just lost those knobs.
Right.
Because we know what Grogu does with.
I liked how when he showed back up and Din was like, just you could hear it in his voice. He was genuinely happy.
Yeah.
That Grogu was back, and he's and then Grogu's like, check it out. Oh yeah, you got the shirt. Great.
Well, and he gave him the little knob, the only thing left from the Razor Crest. He's like, here, buddy.
The Razor Crest.
I kept this for you.
And I liked how in the end too, because we're jumping all over the place, but I liked how Grogu was like sitting in the droid capsule in the back of the new ship,
Yeah.
I was like, and he's just like he's banging on
it. No.
No. Ding, ding. All right, one more time.
Yeah.
It says those sublight engines. Yep. Boom, gone.
Yeah, he just hits the blower, man.
Yeah, that fucking ship. I never thought a Naboo fighter would look so fucking cool, but it does.
It was basically that scene was actually horrible, though. I thought that was a waste of time. Showing them building that in the last episode.
It was a montage.
It was. Like I said, I expected them to come out singing "Grease Lightning."
Yeah, I know.
Because that's exactly what it was like. I mean, and actually in Greece they spent less time building Grease Lightning than they did for them building it.
Still,
but anyway, but back to the show. I also liked what's her name, the mechanic lady. The way she was talking to R2-2. I don't care how big a hurry you're in. Kids got to eat.
I mean, honestly, any scene with R2, I'm all about it. So it's fun.
But yeah, so that, and then at the end when there's the big fight going, and all of his remaining forces are trying to get Boba's remaining forces are trying to get back to him, because the Gamorreans. I thought that was a bullshit ending for them. That they just kept getting backed up, and then they fell off the cliff.
Yeah. That sucked on ice, man. I was like, it was kind of cool seeing the Gamorreans finally like showing what they could do, why they were Jabba's guards, what made them, worthy of that job. And then they just kind of get pushed off the side of a cliff. I was like, oh, that sucks, man.
Why didn't they just charge back? I mean, if you're going to fall off the cliff, you might as well go down swinging and try and take some of them out with you. That would have been the Gamorreans' way.
Yeah, for sure.
And like a Wookiee, they could probably take a few blasts before they're down.
Pretty fucking tough guys, So
yeah, and then but then the whole thing with Black Chrysanthemum, where he's just walking down the street, and all of a sudden there's like this Trandoshan just goes flying across out from behind a building.
Yeah, you just see them they go flying by, and then you see another go flying by, and then there's Chrysanthemum just walking, and then he's got throws that train.
He's walking. It's like when like an adult is playing football with a bunch of little kids. Yeah, and they're all hanging on him, and they're just like.
So that was cool. I mean, it was very action packed. I mean, we had the when the Pikes finally confront, Boba and Din Djarin, and they're just, there's laser blasts everywhere. They're getting pinged, they're getting hit, and they get this, and then you see, you get the reinforcements show up, and you're like, oh, here comes the reinforcements, and that's cool. And you see, like, it seems like they kind of got an edge, or they're getting a leg up, and then come the fucking shielded battle droids.
Yeah, like the giant droidicas.
Right. And now, and everything, unfortunately, everything was relatively like predictable.
Yeah.
Like I said, at one point, the mechanic shows up, Perry shows up with Grogu, and you're like, oh, okay, now Grogu's gonna save the day at some point. And you get and then, of course, they're trying to fight those battle droids, and they're shielded, and they're really tough, and they can't get through it, and our laser blast can't get through it, and our kinetic weapons are too tough are too slow, too fast. And then because at one point you see Chrysanthemum trying to push his way through, and Din's trying to use the dark saber, and it's just, and all this other shit. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's a perfect time for Boba to go get the Rancor.
And that's what he does.
And I was thinking to myself too, there's this huge plot hole, and I was telling you earlier, so he somehow flew all the way back to the palace, gets the Rancor, and gets the Rancor back in time to save everybody's ass.
It's like 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and he's back.
And like I said, that Rancor can probably cover a lot of ground. Those things are pretty fast, particularly for a creature that size. But it's at least a couple of miles. It's at least a few miles away. Plus, the jetpacks are not designed for long distance.
Not generally, no.
Yeah, their jetpacks are designed for shorter distances, so it's not like he could just fly all the way back to the palace. So I was expecting him to show up in his ship, and just start blasting or something. I don't know, his what used to be called the Slave One. So there were definitely some problems with that episode.
Well, and
somebody else was telling me about how the speeder bike gang, how they kept
the mods,
they get gunned down, and then in the next scene that guy was still alive. That was very inconsistent. And I did like how Fennec was where they're in Mos Eisley, right?
Yeah, they're in Mos Espa.
Well, they're in Mos Espa, but
yeah. Oh yeah,
Fennec, basically split to go and take out the families, and take out the heads of the other criminal groups.
Well, and she went to Mos Eisley. That's where the Pikes were based. Was out of Mos Eisley.
Right, the Pikes were out of Mos Eisley. I thought Mos Espa and Mos Eisley, I didn't think they were close by.
No, they're really not.
She had to jump on a speeder bike and go quite a ways. And
she may have taken she may have taken Boba's ship.
Yeah, she might have. That might have been part of it. But yeah, and then you see her at the end, and she just takes them all out. It's just another example of how Fennec Shand is fucking dangerous, man. It is a good goddamn thing she is on Boba's side, because she is scary.
Okay, so according to this, they're only about 85 miles apart.
Well, I guess on a speeder bike or on a ship, you'd be there in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Speeder bike and probably a bit longer, but she could jump in the Slave One and be there in a couple of minutes.
I mean, if it's only like a 1 minute trip out to the palace, so
exactly.
But then, so the Rancor gets loose.
Yeah.
And Boba gets thrown off of it. It gets loose, and it kind of goes crazy, and pulls the fucking. I'm like, they're not gonna. No, oh shit, they're doing the fucking King Kong thing.
Yeah, it's climbing the building.
Yeah. I thought it was going to get killed, though. I thought it was actually going to get killed. And what's funny is I actually saw a meme. It was one of those. It was the Leo DiCaprio ones where he's pointing at the screen, and it actually had Kong's face over his, and
But I did think it was kind of cool that Grogu was the one that calmed him down, and then then they both just he just curls up next to
him. Yeah. The Rancor goes to sleep, and then Grogu goes over and like cuddles up with him, which was kind of cute. So
that was kind of adorable. But then, and then we see the kind of the final big fight, the big, between Cad Bane and Boba, and you see that resolution. And he says something, they're fighting, and they're, and Cad is definitely a faster draw.
Yep.
He's like, you're not as fast. I'm faster than you. Yeah, but I've got armor. And he's like, okay, give it a shot. We'll see. And it's just, Cad Bane was fucking nasty. He was a great villain. I would have liked to have seen more of him, in this show. But
and it's cool that they got the same voice actor to do him as they do in Clone Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen who did the physical acting.
It was a stunt man. I know that.
Oh, sure.
But I actually saw his name earlier. The whole model, I guess, for Cad Bane was based on Lee Van Cleef from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I think.
Wow, that's cool.
They took the model for his look from him.
Cool. So yeah, we see the final battle between the two of them, and of course, Boba gets the final blow on him, and I did like the fact that he took him out using that stick that he got from the.
Well, and I knew that was going to happen because you saw it on his back, and it was sitting there, and through that whole fight, I'm like, he's still got the Gaddafi stick.
Yeah. So I mean, and also I guess, like I said, I think it just could have been better overall. Like overall, it could have been better. We could have had a better show. I mean, this show very much felt like a filler. It was just a space filler until Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, it's Mando 2.5.
Right.
I mean, there really wasn't a lot to this one, and it's honestly one I'm a little disappointed in. I think it could have been way better.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better. But
if they had done it, I mean, some of the stuff that they did, like the whole showdown between Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, that whole thing there, that like whole high noon type of showdown. If they had done that, and even the showdown between Boba and Cad Bane, if they had kept it as a space western, and done it that way, I think it would have been a better show.
Yes, I agree. I don't know, man. I still was entertained. I still enjoyed the show for the most part. But I just think it could have been better overall.
I won't go that far, CD. I will not say that Disney's making it worse than Lucas did at the end. Outside of the last 3 movies, that was horrible. That I really wasn't. I didn't like any of those. The first one was meh. The second one sucked, and the third one was horrible. So
see, I will go so far as to say I really enjoyed the first one. I thought Force Awakens was a great movie. It's a lot of fun. It was all nostalgia, of course. It played on nostalgia. J.J. Abrams is he's a good movie maker. He makes great movies. He's good at making a movie that will appeal to the nostalgia and the child in all of us. Unfortunately, the 2 follow-ups to that were not up to par, and it's goddamn, it was fucking sad. I think I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan, show. I think I'm thinking that this is probably going to be the next truly good Star Wars show.
I hope so.
And then we got Mando season 3 coming, and that's going to be. I think that's going to also be great.
This is the first thing I'll say that I thought that Favreau and Filoni kind of fell flat on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and that's the other thing too. Like individually, some of the episodes were cool. Like there were some really cool individual episodes. I think of Boba Fett. I just think the show I think the show on the whole kind of failed, you know.
Well, I think it was too slow.
If you broke it up into pieces, it was like, oh, okay, you know, all right. But it just didn't I don't know. I have a tough time being negative when it comes to Star Wars because I love it so much. But I was just like, and at the same time, there was still parts of this show that really entertained the shit out of me, particularly the last episode. I mean, honestly, seeing Boba Fett ride in on that Rancor, I was like, fuck yeah, man. We knew that was going to happen and I'm waiting for it, you know, and it did. And it was fucking badass. But, and seeing that Rancor tear apart those droids and seeing, you know, the Mandalorian and Boba Fett fucking throw down and just blast apart all those pikes. I mean, that fucking knee missile launcher thing that Boba Fett had. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was fucking cool as shit, you know.
When they both flew in on their jetpacks and were just flying back and forth.
Yeah, fucking cool, man. But yeah, there was some stuff that was just like, guys, come on. So overall, Boba Fett was an entertaining show that fell short of expectations and could have been better, I think, if they had just done a few things differently.
Yep.
So we should probably move on to Vox Machina.
Yes, we should.
Also, but real quick before we get into Vox Machina, I did want to make mention about that we lost we lost somebody in celebrity news yesterday.
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman, the director of many of the great movies from the 80s, including Ghostbusters, passed away on February 12th peacefully in his sleep. The cause of death has not been revealed. He was 75. He is survived by his children, Jason, Catherine, and Caroline. Jason Reitman is also a director in his own right and directed the new Ghostbusters film.
The Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think is what it's called.
The new one. I have not seen that yet. I'm going to be getting the Blu-ray. It comes out this week, actually. I'm going to be getting it and stuff. He also directed, let's see, over the neck, Reitman was born in Czechoslovakia, raised in Canada. He was once recalled the Montecito Journal. He moved to Montecito, California in '79. Following the success, the '78 film National Lampoon's Animal House, which was produced by Reitman and starred John Belushi. Over the next few years, Reitman went on to direct Bill Murray in the '79 movie Meatballs, which I love Meatballs, and the '81 movie Stripes. He then directed Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 in '84 and '89, respectively, which, in addition to Murray and Hudson, starred Aykroyd, Ramis, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, Annie Potts, and David Margulies. The movie was nominated for 2 Oscars, including Best Original Song for its theme music and Best Visual Effects. He also directed Kindergarten Cop, Junior, 6 Days and 7 Nights, No String Attached. He produced the Beethoven movies. He produced Space Jam, Old School, and more. So it's too bad.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor at all. So toast to Ivan Reitman for making some great memorable
movies. Some of my favorites from the 80s.
Fantastic. All right, so Vox Machina episodes 7, 8, and 9 premiered last Friday. I think I caught them on Saturday. I tell you, the show
one real quick. No, CD, that was John Landis that did Spies Like Us.
Yeah. The show just keeps getting better. I mean, like, I keep saying this over and over again, but...
And see, I don't think so. I think these were kind of dull episodes. I mean, there was some good stuff in them, but for the most part, they felt like filler episodes.
I don't think so. I mean, like, we're seeing Percy take down his list. We are,
but now, so here's the other thing. and Rich brought this up on Sunday. There's some times where they could cut some time off of some of these, like Percy just sitting there flicking the barrels, and you see you get to see the names, and that's fine, but he continues to do it, and it's too long of a scene.
See, I disagree. I think that this is good storytelling, man. They're building dramatic tension by doing that kind of stuff. They're showing that Percy he's dark, he's broken, and this is the trauma that he has experienced is part of that trauma. So, and it's scaring the crap out of the rest of his teammates because they've never seen him like this before. It's an obsession. It's a level of obsession, and I don't know, man. I'm loving it. I think it's great. And I mean, like I said, I mean,
they are changing a few things, but
oh yeah, and in all honesty, like just the sheer power levels of the characters. But I loved how Scanlan was like pretty much that whole episode. They centered a lot on him about him distracting and burning down the house, and he turned into the Triceratops that, and he's got
dropped it at the wrong time. And
right, yeah, what's this potion? And and he's this potion. Oh wow, this works. And just some really, really cool stuff, man. It was like you gotta love the point where he's about ready to get killed by that general. I mean, he's ready to.
The Duke.
The guy's going to the Duke. He's gonna kill him, and he channels lightning bolt through his fucking cock. And I was like, that is one of the most Scanlan moves that Scanlan can do. Outside of Scanlan's hand, that lightning bolt from his crotch is one of those things.
Well, and that's just Sam trying to be funny. That's what that was.
Yeah, but it was still very Scanlan. It's like for somebody who's watched and it was fell in love with Critical Role through Vox Machina. I just was really tickled to see that. I loved like the part where all those archers just nail Grog. And then he goes into a rage and proceeds to destroy all these other archers. We're definitely seeing a intense like a power up on these characters because they had to speed up the process. I mean,
most Dutch, you're not watching Legend of Vox Machina?
Who's not? What?
The name is Dutch.
Oh, dude, yeah, Dutch, you gotta watch the Legend of Vox Machina on Prime. It's Amazon Prime. It's goddamn, it's good. It
really is good. And the animation is just incredible.
The animation is fantastic. The voice acting, the writing, so fucking good. And I mean, it's elevating the game when it comes to adult animation and elevating the game, particularly when it comes to fantasy. It's just fucking great. I love the introspection, the episodes where we deal with Pike and she's back at the at the temple, because this is shit we didn't see in the show.
Well, shit that they didn't really deal with because it was just a way to get her away. She was actually helping rebuild the temple at the time.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, yes. Yeah. And yeah, so she was she was away, and so I mean they have had to establish things like the villain's side of per view of things, like when they showed how Delilah turned Silas into a vampire to save his life.
Yep. Because
for whatever reason he was sick or he was dying and stuff like that. So she used necromantic magic to make him a vampire to save his life. I like the fact that they're making these villains, they're three-dimensional villains. They're fully fledged characters. They're not just like, I will rule the world for no reason. They have an agenda and they have emotions. They love each other, Mm-hmm. Silas and Delilah love each other. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, okay. yeah, I mean, this show just so good. And I mean, like I said, I know, Chris, because you haven't like watched the original campaign.
Yeah.
And you seen that part?
Oh yeah, I'm way past that. I'm in the middle of the Chroma Conclave.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
They've killed the White Dragon already in the Chroma Conclave.
Right. So yeah, they
killed the Black Dragon, I think, in the Chroma Conclave where I'm at.
Okay. It's funny, actually, speaking of the first campaign, they actually referenced something that happened in the first campaign in the newest episode.
Of campaign 3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In campaign 3, because they're at this, I don't want to say too much, but they're at the ball basically, and they meet a guy that ends up that is referenced in campaign 1.
Yeah, I saw a little picture that somebody drew of Pate in a tux.
Yeah. So I mean, now we've got the final 3 episodes coming up, and we're getting into the penultimate story. I mean, and it does feel like it's a little rushed because there was a lot of stuff to deal with. I mean, we're finding out more and more about the ziggurat and the things. I mean, we also find out about Whitestone and about the residuum glass, and we learned more about his teacher. That was some fucked up shit too. You really got to see like how powerful Grog is when that teacher, when the professor controls Grog with his silver tongue and whatever it was, and then Grog proceeds to. I mean, granted, they're trying not to kill Grog; they're just trying to incapacitate him, and Grog is like, not trying to do the same.
So,
but holy shit!
Yeah. So the Briarwood arc was actually 15 4-hour episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they're trying to fit it into, what is it? 10,
maybe. Yeah,
it was 10.
About 6 hours.
Yeah, 10 20-minute episodes.
Oh yeah, about 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to compress.
Yep.
I think they're doing a good job for the most part. I mean, when Pike comes in at the end in astral form,
as her astral form, which was when Ashley actually, that's what they did when Ashley was able to make it, that Pike just astrally projected.
I mean, they made Pike like 10 times more powerful than she really is supposed to be. Because she casts a holy weapon, I'm like 30 fucking weapons or 50 fucking weapons in that whole fucking area. And then she's taken out. She's casting like fucking daylight and casting. There's a couple other ones that basically what is it? Flame strike and shit like that. And I'm just like, holy shit. And I mean, I was like, that was badass, but I was like,
now I will say,
it really elevated their power.
It is cool to see the spells going off.
Yeah.
In animation form.
Recognizable D&D spells.
Yeah.
Now, so that's cool.
What's funny is, Rich hasn't listened to or watched the campaign 1, but he's watching this. And he's like, Scanlan is so fucking annoying. And I'm like, and Renee's like, yeah, and they toned him down for the cartoon.
They did. Super Saiyan Pike. It was Super Saiyan Pike. Yeah. So that was new to me. Yeah. It's just so fucking cool.
I'm looking forward to the last 3. I'm kind of bummed that they're already going to be the last 3.
Yeah, and then it's going to be at least a year before we see season 2, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I also really
just have to watch these again.
Yeah, I just have to watch them again. I'll buy a Blu-ray. I mean, whatever, give it to me. Hopefully they'll release them and put it in.
Yes, no shit jars. That's good. I'm glad they're not doing that. Although when Scanlan breaks in and the Duke's on the fucking toilet, and he stands up and there's bloop.
Bloop. Yeah, that was unnecessary.
It was completely unnecessary.
What are you gonna do though? It's still Critical Role. So there was one other thing. Oh, the when Percy rolled a critical and took the teacher's jaw right out.
Oh.
And shot the tongue off,
and it's crawling around the floor.
Crawling around and like a little fucking. But yeah, I mean that was like, he's like, it gave me enough time to do this, and he shoots and he lines up the shot and ricochets and bang. I'm like, oh, that's a critical 20.
Yeah,
that was a critical role.
Yeah,
he yeah. So that was kind of cool too. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I love this show, man. I think it's really fucking awesome. So I loved how he pulled out Bad News for the first time too, and used it. And he's like, and Krog's like, wow, you do that again. And he's like, I wish I could. It's a work in progress.
Well, yeah, and you look at the front and the barrel's just splintered.
Yeah. He just folds it up, puts it back in the bag of holding. Like, shit, I'm gonna have to fix this one. I saw, if you watch the because I've been watching the Q&As, because they'll do the Q&As and stuff. They do. It's probably going on right now because it starts at like
it's at
9 o'clock our time.
Where
they do a watch party.
Yep.
Now I've been able to watch. I watched them, but I watched them without them watching the show. So it's basically on YouTube. You can see them. It's the Q&As between the shows, and it was cool. They talked to Taliesin. Taliesin actually did a lot of research. He designed the pepper box and Bad News. He designed those guns, and he even talked to like people that knew about classical, like antique firearms and stuff like that. And he showed them designs, and the guy's like, these wouldn't work, right? They'd fail all the time. And he goes, yeah, I know. That's why. I mean, it's like, that's why, the pepper box and Bad News and those other weapons fucking break a lot. And Percy would have to spend a turn or spend an action clearing it or fixing it or whatever else.
Yeah,
or
Bad News failed on like a 3 or less.
Yeah.
And the pepper box failed on, it failed on a 1. And then he had the Bad News, if it got a 1, it was unrepairable in the field.
Yeah.
He needed his workstation.
Yeah. He'd have to wait.
But Bad News was also a D12, I think it was, damage.
Oh, it was ridiculous, and then he could also like unload it too, I mean the pepper box and stuff. The pepper box was like a 5-shot or 6-shot. I mean, he could boom, 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 and it was.
But every other round he had to reload. He had to spend one of his actions to reload.
One of his actions had to be a reload. So wow, so it's just so fucking cool. And I liked how Taliesin, worked that into the characters. Like, yeah, there's a reason why there aren't a lot of guns, because they may do a lot of damage, but they break all the fucking time. And I thought that was a really good addition to the thing. So to the character and the development and stuff. So I'm really excited for the final 3 episodes. I'm definitely, once it's all over, I'm going to watch them all over again, probably all in one day. And it's reinvigorating me too. I really want to do. I've been wanting to draw the characters, my own versions of the characters, maybe even submit it to the website, and stuff like that. So we'll see. Guys, watch Critical Role. Watch it. It's so good. You will not regret it.
But I think that's it.
That's all I had. Anything else? Yeah.
That's what I had for tonight.
All righty then, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight on Nerds with Alcohol. Guys, you can download and stream our show here on Twitch. You can download in all the places you can find quality podcasting. Guys, we are on iTunes and the Google Play Store. We are on Stitcher. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Odyssey, the Odyssey app. We are on Spotify. What's the new one?
Samsung.
And on Samsung.
Samsung podcasts.
Yeah. So you can we every Tuesday night at 8:00, we throw down our nerdy conversation. Chris puts the episode up a couple of days later on our YouTube page, Drinking Nerds. Guys, check us out this Friday, 7:30 for Tavern Nights.
Yeah. And no, Dutch. I'm not watching Reacher yet. I don't think you are, Russ, because you haven't mentioned anything about that.
No, it's on my. I put it on my queue, but I'm not.
I wasn't sure about it. But yeah, so you can also follow us on most social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show, Instagram, Drinking Nerds, and Twitter at Drinking Nerds. The writing's horrible. Okay, that's not a selling point.
On Reacher?
Yeah, Reacher. So yeah, that just moved down my list a little bit. It's no, actually, right now I want to finish. Rudy and I are finishing up Castle, which I've already seen all of them, but we're in the last season of that. Once we finish that up, we're discussing what we're going to do next. We're either going to go to The Expanse next, or we're going to try and knock out Doom Patrol next, and then go to.
I got to watch second season of Doom Patrol.
We're going to do one of those, but yeah. So I think that's going to about do it.
That should about do it.
I think. Until next time.
Sláinte. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.